They shot down our drone. What should our answer be?
Well, we should hold them accountable and say that if you ever get near another U.S. set flying in international waters, your airplane would be shot down. What would Ronald Reagan do right now? He would start shooting Russian planes down if they were threatening our assets.
And that is South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. He is exaggerating the attitude of Ronald Reagan, of course. Still, Graham's argument is that there should be some sort of immediate cost to Russia if they shoot down another U.S. military asset. And asset is an appropriate term for the U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone. Each one costs over $30 million. So this wasn't like losing a weather balloon. The Pentagon has now released video of the incident involving the Reaper drone and 2 Russian Su-27 warplanes. This happened over the Black Sea in international waters. At first, one of the Russian planes dumped fuel on the drone. A short time later, Russian aircraft bumped the drone, cutting off the video feed and causing the drone to crash. The Biden administration is describing the Russian actions as reckless and unprofessional. That is too mild for some Republican war hawks. However, Lindsey Graham's calls for the U.S. to start shooting Russian warplanes out of the sky if this happens again has prompted intense reaction from Republican isolationists like Tucker Carlson.
What would Ronald Reagan do? He'd probably vomit if he saw it. We're glad Ronald Reagan is not here to watch Lindsey Graham invoke his name to justify anti-American stupidity. What about Lindsey Graham's plans, the plans of almost every Republican senator in the U.S. Senate and all the Democrats? How would they help the United States? Well, they never answer that question because they couldn't be less interested.
Now, Tucker Carlson's blanket assertions, wild generalities, and name-calling are not very helpful to this debate either. But all of this does underscore that there's a fundamental disagreement, not just across America, but also within the GOP, over how to project American safety and security, particularly in response to Russian aggression. In my view, the Biden administration is walking a tightrope. If the United States does start shooting down Russian planes, well, that could quickly escalate and take us faster to World War III. On the other hand, doing nothing essentially opens the door for more Russian reckless actions because Moscow will see that there are no consequences. In this case, the Biden administration has walked the tightrope well, in my view. After this incident, the State Department summoned the Russian ambassador to a meeting where officials yelled at the ambassador and told him to deliver the anger back to Moscow. After the meeting, the Russian ambassador was apologetic and said Russia does not want a confrontation with the United States. Relatedly, the Biden administration is looking at this for what it was, one incident. Remember, Lindsey Graham said there should be military consequences if this drone shoot-down happens again. Well, it hasn't happened a second time yet. So staying cool for the moment is the wise move. Plus, I'm sure the Pentagon has the ability, as it told the Russians, to detonate a drone and take out Russian aircraft harassing it. The fact that this drone operator refrained from that response shows remarkable restraint. Of course, there is not much restraint, though, among Biden critics.
President Biden, you're the Rodney Dangerfield of world leaders. Nobody respects you. And if you don't change your game and up your game, we're going to have World War III.
We are going to have World War III. Well, that's Lindsey Graham's bloviated opinion about the future. The reality in the present is that the Biden administration is staying cool and calm and keeping America's options on the table. And that's the right move. Tell me your thoughts in the comments section. By the way, America's leading expert on Russia's economy now says that the Russian economy is collapsing. In other words, the economic sanctions by the Biden administration and the rest of the world are working. Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.